All right, let's kick things off. But first, you know the drill. This is the crucial part. Everything you're about to see is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Okay, let's get right into it because today's update is a big one, a really big one. We're talking about February 9th. Just 3 short days after a pretty brutal market crash, DexFi didn't just hang in there. No, it shattered a branding milestone. For the very first time, its daily profit crossed into 5-figure territory. So let's see that number. And there it is. $10,225. Just let that sink in for a second. Now, to be perfectly clear, this is pure profit paid out to Bernard bondholders today. This isn't from printing new tokens. It's not some kind of temporary subsidy. This is the real sustainable output from the protocol's trading engine, all powered by actual trading fees. Now, what makes this number so powerful isn't just the number itself, it's the context. I mean, look at this chart. Just 3 days ago, on February 6th, the market was in an absolute free fall. And even then, the profit was still a super strong $8,000. 2 days later, it was right there, knocking on the door of 10,000, and today it just smashed right through. This isn't just a recovery, it's an acceleration through the recovery. And believe it or not, that $10,000 is really only half the story. The protocol also churned out another $9,000 in compound profit. Now, that's the money that gets automatically plowed right back into the fund to make the whole thing bigger and stronger for tomorrow. So all in, we're looking at over $19,000 in value generated in a single day. You know, if you annualize that, you're talking over $370,000. Wild. Okay, so the yield engine is absolutely roaring. But what about the health of the fund itself, the machine that's generating all this cash? Well, let's take a look at its powerful V-shaped recovery. The total fund value is now pushing just under $2 million. It is right on the verge of its previous all-time high, a level that was set way back in January before that market-wide crash. We are effectively back in record-setting territory. And for the sake of total transparency, it's really important to clarify what this growth is made of. Yesterday's big jump was partly an accounting move, just consolidating some funds. But today's increase of over $63,000, that is pure 100% organic growth from assets recovering and new capital coming in. That is the real deal. So here's the crucial takeaway. It's the speed of this recovery. In just 3 days since the market hit bottom, the fund is rebounded by nearly 46%. It climbed all the way from a low of $1.37 million back up to where it is now at $1.99 million. That, my friends, is what a swift and decisive recovery looks like. So, a strong fund is one thing, but you know what they say, actions speak louder than words. So, how did investors, real people, react during all this volatility? Let's look at maybe the most telling metric of all, the total number of active bonds. Wow. Just get a look at this number, 41,748. That isn't just a high number. Folks, that is a new all-time high for the total number of Bernard bonds out there. Right now, more investors are in this protocol than ever before in its history. And this just perfectly illustrates how the protocol performs under pressure. While the rest of the market was hitting the panic button back on February 6th, DexFi investors were actually buying. Since that crash low, over 2,200 brand new bonds have been created. That's a huge wave of fresh capital coming in precisely when fear was at its absolute peak. And here's why this matters to anyone watching from the sidelines. Despite this incredible recovery, today's bond price of about $47 is still 25% cheaper than the highs we saw back in December. This basically means that the same powerful yield engine is available right now at a more attractive entry point. Okay, so we've got record profit and we have record confidence, but where's all this yield actually coming from? Well, the answer, as it always is trading volume. So the engine was fueled by a really strong $17.6 million in daily trading volume. And as you can see from this chart, one token is the undisputed king. BNKR alone was responsible for 11.5 million of that, a staggering 65% of the total volume. And yeah, while other tokens provide healthy diversity, BNKR is clearly the powerhouse that's driving these record-breaking fees. All right, so far everything looks incredibly strong. But, in the spirit of a full and honest health report, we have to talk about the one metric that's flashing a little bit of yellow. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the undeployed capital in the wallet. Right now, 15.4% of the total fund, that's about $307,000, is just sitting in the wallet undeployed.
And obviously, cash that isn't working is not generating fees. So what's going on here?
So here's the key thing to get. This is actually a consequence of success. The rapid sale of new bonds means capital is literally flowing in faster than the team can strategically put it into new positions. Right now, there's over 117 ETH and $65,000 in stablecoins just sitting there, waiting to be put to work. And while, yeah, this creates a temporary drag on the overall yield, this is a classic growing pain, not a systemic failure. It's what you'd call a good problem to have.
So let's pull all this together. Taking everything into account, the good, the bad, and the awesome, what's the final verdict on the health of the protocol as of today?
Well, the dashboard paints a very clear picture. Daily yield, record-breaking, solid green. Bond count, all-time high, green light. Fund value, approaching its peak, that's a green. Trading volume, strong and healthy, definitely green. The only caution flag is the wallet deployment, and we know that's a temporary timing issue. Overall, the protocol's health is excellent.
And this really says it all. $10,000 a day, real fees, real yield, real proof. 3 days after the worst crash since FTX, DexFi isn't just recovering, it's setting new records. That's not a slogan, that's math. To close out, please remember this has all been for educational and entertainment purposes only. Again, it is not financial advice. Cryptocurrency investments carry a significant amount of risk, and that includes the potential for total loss. The value of DexFi bonds will fluctuate with the prices of the underlying assets, and past performance never ever guarantees any future results. Please always do your own research.